Okay, everybody, and welcome back to Holliston Soccer. Girls varsity soccer, Holliston playing at Kamitian Field. Your Holliston Panthers today are taking on the Hopkinton Hillers in a good old-fashioned London derby, although it's a kind of a, Holliston derby because there's really no London here. I'm your host, John Drohan, here on the Holliston Hub. I'm joined by my co-host and the grandmaster of all Holliston soccer, Mr. John Marshall. Mr. Marshall, how are you today?
I'm very well, thank you.
Yeah, and he sounds good. We are also joined by our Holliston Hub crew and, of course, the one and only Tom Harmon, who is the of Money in the Law, the Holliston's award-winning show. We'll talk more about that. And I tell you, it's going to be one of those games today because Holliston has their work cut out for them. Hopkinton comes in today with a record of 4-0. And they are gunning for the title early. So with 3-1 in the league, so Holliston's no slouch themselves, and they always present a challenge to Holliston.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I was quite impressed with the performance Holliston put up last week, but I think they got a challenge on their hands today. Hopkinton have a very strong background of soccer.
And we're going to talk about that. We'll talk about that in the broadcast, as you have your own personal experience in being involved in Holliston in Hopkinton soccer. Correction.
That's true.
So yeah, that's the only thing in a broadcast like today with the Holliston and Hopkinton. There's often a mix-up of you get the two mixed up. Not unlike Norwood and Norton. So. All of our audience, our listening audience, will have to indulge us a little bit if we misspeak and make the call. So, but we'll do our best. All right, so we're about to get underway here. It's a lovely fall day today. Almost a little too nice for a derby such as this, a rivalry like this, but. We'll have to endure. It's a little bit of overcast, but the temperature is perfect for soccer. So much different than last week.
Last week was tough.
Yeah, much different than last week. So here we go. We're about to get underway. Of course, Holliston in the goal has Kira Lucas, and of course in Hopkinton's goalkeeper it's Ayla Chase, number 10. So we're underway. Holliston is and of course they're Crimson Home Red. And Holliston goes from the southwest to the northeast, and Hopkinton, of course, in the visiting white, going from the northeast to the southwest. So early underway, it looks like Hopkinton's trying to press. We'll see if we can put some of these numbers to faces for you for both teams. We had a visit from Tom, who's from the. He's the HCAM. He does the games for Hopkinton. We had a nice talk with him. And there's early, good ball in. And it looks like that was Claire Fitzgerald. So in the back, Holliston has always traditionally been strong across the back. So Holliston has on the left back, number 1, Claire Fitzgerald. We just mentioned her number. And there's Holliston trying to look. That's Doniger. Ainsley Doniger is a transfer this year. She came in from Grafton. She's a junior, and Doniger is making an immediate impact here in Holliston Soccer. So there's Hopkinton pushes. Hopkinton on the right side. That's number 20. She looks inside. There's a good cross, and ball goes high.
What a lovely guy. What a lovely pass.
Georgie Clark, the senior, came down the right side, looked inside, and she found Johanna Dupont. Johanna Dupont had a point-blank shot and just put it high over the bar. So Holliston got lucky on that one. So in the back, as we said, and left back, Claire Fitzgerald for Holliston. Number 20 is, of course, Lila Bausch, the junior, 2-time star. Number 10 is Caitlin Queeley. She's playing in the back. Again, for the Holliston has been stricken with some of the injured. Two of their captains are injured. This week, Caitlin O'Connell was out. Molly McLeod, of course, she's a three-year starter in the back. She's out with of course, Anya Holden with a torn ACL. She's already had surgery. She's forward, and yes.
Well, there was a definite offside. There's no doubt about that. But they're going to have to be careful here. I think this is one of those games where the offensive players, the up-front players, are really fast, and they get some beautiful passes back from the midfield, and that was one example of it. And that's what we're going to be seeing for the rest of the afternoon. It's going to be very interesting.
Lucky Holliston. All right, so Holliston pushing forward. That's Hauk. Hauk looks out. Leone comes out. Seeing that. So Juliet Leone was playing on that right back. I like seeing her come in the attack, and Hauk tried to find her, just couldn't. But Holliston, I think you're absolutely right, and we saw that just in that first sequence when Clark, you could make an argument she had a shot from that right side.
She did.
She had a step. Instead, she pushed it across, and DuPont was just unable to catch. So there's a little contact over there, no call. That's Recupero for Hopkinton. Hopkins, definitely look like they're early on able to control the ball, trying to find feet. Zuganta, so there's that are playing. The Zuganta sisters, Nina and Sophia. That ball's in, and again, the backs have to be careful. Particularly Holliston backs have to be careful about allowing those Hopkins. They are trying to get forward. So what do you see? So
I see it's going to be some very interesting defensive plays back here, because I hope it was intentional. The way you stop a very fast player, attacking player that you've got, is you play the offside game. If you can't beat them on a foot race, you play the offside game, and Holliston did that right there. They moved up, and they just picked the right spot, and that was very cleverly done.
But that's something right that you have to practice, right? Because
you do. It's the only way you can. You got, and these attacking players are very fast of foot. They're very fleet, and you have difficult time keeping up with them.
I mean, this is the thing that you see, right? This is you see, especially in a broadcast like this. There's number 10 on the outside. That's Recupero. Makes the turn. She's able to get across, but who was that? It looks like that was Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald was able to put out, but it's going to be Hopkinton corner. Of course, we don't count the corners here on the Holliston Hub broadcast, although we keep kind of a minimal count. Kind of a ball across, and no! Oh, no, right through the hands. Yeah. Right through the hands of Kira Lucas, and Hopkinson's on the board early.
That was, it should have been a goal first time, and it hit the bar and came out. It crossed bar and came out. But that's an example of the very strong, tenacious forward play that I think we're going to see this afternoon.
So very strong cross. I'm not sure who was I missed who was the one who put that actually into Lucas, but off the corner. Ball hits the bar and then bounces out, and then it's rebounded in, and unfortunately Lucas was unable to get a hold of it. So Holliston now down 1-0, but here they come on the outside. Hauk tries to get a spot. Nice play.
Very nice time.
So that's Gonzos comes out, and she's still got it.
Look at this.
So Gonzos moving forward. She looks inside. Ball's taken back. Another goal. And another shot. That was Georgie Clark.
That was a beautiful goal. It started in the Holliston defensive area. I think about 5 or 6 Holliston players touched it on its way up and into goal, and the Holliston people didn't get a look in. This is a very strong team.
Juliana Granzos was the back who started that play, just like you said. Came up the right side, number 17. And
absolutely
looked inside and was able to find Clark, and Georgie Clark scores, and now Holliston is in a deep hole in just the 7th minute of play. So Holliston down to 2 early quick goals by Hopkins. So Holliston now playing this game on their heels. going to come way out. She's going to get it. She's not taking any chances to have that Hopkinton onslaught. And one of the things we've seen it just those 3 times is Hopkinton. They push it up the side, but they don't try and take that weird angle shot. They try and get it back to the middle.
No.
And
they keep control. They keep possession of the ball. They pass it nicely along the ground to one another. It's very intelligent.
So Holliston trying to put something together, get back into this. Fitzgerald throws forward. That's Hannah Holden. Hannah Holden, of course, is the freshman, younger sister of the injured Anya Holden. And again, here comes Hopkinton again, trying to keep it in, but it goes out. So in the middle, Holliston has Emily Mulvaney. So Mulvaney's playing that holding mid. And up front, there's McDonald and Doniger trying to make something happen. But it looks like Hopkinton, as strong as they are up front, looks like they're very poised in the back.
They are. And they don't blast the ball away either. When they get it, they look for somebody, a partner to pass it to.
Foot race on the outside. Nice tackle by Fitzgerald. She's able to come through. There's Holden, some good control, goes into traffic, and unfortunately gives it up. So, again, Holliston getting... Kutchman's there. Kutchman finds Doniger. Doniger back to Kutchman. Kutchman looking for... There's Leone on the outside. Again, Leone coming up. So McDonald's there. So Holliston, remember now, Holliston, they're not just right off the... They didn't fall right off the truck. Holliston, they can put it together, and they have the... And we saw... As much as I've ever seen Holliston be able to pass the ball, particularly in the midfield, in that last game, they looked very poised. So again, a little slightly different side in the case of Hopkinton with some, I think Hopkinton plays at a faster pace, but we'll see if Holliston can be patient, stay with their fundamentals, and try and not get too crazy and see if they can control the ball enough to put something together up front. So that looks like a foul. So that was Kulkarni. Annika Kulkarni is fouled, so it's going to be a Hopkinton free. So back Gronsos is going to take it. She sends it forward. McDonald's there. Leone's there. Leone trying to find Boone again. Holliston, a little bit too much giving the ball up to Hopkinton.
Well, they've got to settle down now, and it's okay. They're down. They've got to settle down, and they got to take start of the midfield because that's where it's happening. That's where Holliston is controlling it right now. They're much stronger in the middle of the field.
So Hauk on the outside, she's able to force a throw. Holliston looking for Holden in the corner. She's challenged by, and it's going to be a Hopkinton throw. So again, it's early, like you said. It's early. We're in the 11th minute.
Yeah.
So if when you are down, especially when there's plenty of time, try and go back and play your game. And we'll see if Holland looks inside. Not a bad look by McDonald. Try to find Holden. She wasn't there. But Holliston has some skill players up front, even despite the injuries. Mulvaney in the middle. Looking for Kutchman. Can't do it. Here comes Hopkinton again off to the races. Clark. Forward. And that's one of the things you'll see, right? You'll see those forwards try and creep those backs up so they can just get them sleeping just enough to be able to get past them on a ball through and remain onside. And that's what Holliston, as you said earlier, they really, really have to be careful of that. Bow sends it out. Carney and a reverse pass. Tries to send it back, but Lucas is there. He's able to scoop that up. So Hopkins tried the no-look pass. Unable to get anything on the other end of it. Mulvaney's there. Fitzgerald, nice tackle again. It's the second time we've seen Fitzgerald. A good job on the outside challenge and some strong strikers. And Fitzgerald able to take the ball off of her and retain the throw. So Fitzgerald in, finds Holden. That's Kutchman. She's there. There's Donegan. Really have to start.
You can't make
being
it
in the
bad.
midfield. There we go.
Bad.
She's on, and Lucas sees it.
Got it.
So Clark was streaking. Lucas did a nice job of getting up there and being able to stop that before that turned into a real problem. So O'Connor's there on the outside for Hopkinton. Here comes Doniger. McDonald. And she turns it over. There's O'Connor coming back. Pushes the ball forward. It's a foot race. And it's Clark again. Clark is too fast. It goes across. There's nobody there. Sorry, that wasn't Clark. Sorry, that looked like Johanna Dupont. I can't see the number from again. The visibility. We need some more screens up here. We need some screens so we can see that instant replay. But that was Dupont who put that ball across. So just flat out beat Leone in a foot race, getting the ball around the outside. There's Haupt.
At this point, you cannot make a bad pass. You cannot give the ball up. You've got to make sure that pass you make is going to go to one of your teammates.
That's easier said than done.
It is. But so many times people want to blast it away, and you give it up. Once you give it up and you make a bad pass because you're a little bit impatient or whatever it is, you cannot do that.
And it looks like Hopkins does a good job of staying patient, and they don't get into that. And I've seen that before. We've seen that in Hopkins in years past. Doniger on the outside. She tries to get past. No whistle. No whistle.
Absolutely not. That was a fine tackle. That was an example of a fine tackle.
That was Zugatis comes away. Clark puts it through, and she's.
No, she's not.
O'Connor was there. Oh, great look inside by Clark.
That was a good defensive play.
So Georgie Clark sends it through, and it looked like that was Marin O'Connor was through and just couldn't get her foot to connect it to it. But she had a good defender, got back and was able. I think that was Lila Bausch. So Holliston down early. Holliston wish Hopkinton was down early. Holliston down early, 2-0. With early goals by Johanna Dupont and Georgie Clark.
You watch how they play this year.
Playing in the middle. There it is. There's that race again. There's Clark. Lucas is there, and Clark has Lucas out, an own goal. Oh, and Georgie Clark in a foot race. And Lucas tried to get out and tried to get to the ball, but Clark just beat her to it. Georgie Clark gets around her, and she shoots into an open net. And it looks like we're taking a soccer timeout right now. So Hopkinton in the first half, in the 16th minute, goes up 3-0 on Holliston here in. Holliston is digging a big hole for themselves early. All right, so we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back when the action starts. So on behalf of the Holliston Hub, HCAT, Holliston Girls Varsity Soccer, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back with Holliston in a deep hole right now, early on in the 16th minute, trailing Hopkinton by a score of 3-0. Pretty much all Hopkinton up to this point. So Holliston was able to take a timeout and get a break. Looks like they have some new players that have come in to kind of give some of the other ones a breather to try and stop this Hopkinton onslaught. And Hopkinton just looking so sharp today. And pretty much in all aspects of the game, all areas of the field, the midfield, but especially up front, just really getting some really almost too easy looks on the Holliston goal. So Holliston trying to push forward, but again, Hopkinton keeping control. Looks like that's Recupero on the outside, and here comes Hopkinton again. It's that ball just on the other side of the midfield, and they're able to control it. Holliston able to back it out. Ball in the middle. Looks like Zugantis. The Zugantis sisters are causing trouble here now. Here they come again. Fotini Grantos is in for Hopkinton, number 7. So she looks like she's playing up front. Laura, number 8. She's up front as well. So we'll see if Holliston can take advantage of the subs. And that ball's taken off. Not a bad play. That was Eleanor Grantforce. So Grantforce, the freshman, coming in a nice tackle, but then she earns the free kick. So Grantforce in now for Holliston. She's playing up front. And there's Hopkinton, not afraid to control the ball, not afraid to pass back to the keeper, Chase. And they push it up the left side. More space on the left side. Queeley's on there. She's able to stuff it. That was Doniger that came in to stop that. Correction. It might have been Mulvaney. Gerald on the outside. Chase is going to be a Hopkinton throw. Hopkinton throw just from the corner. Fitzgerald's there, and they move inside. Kutchman's able to get a foot on it. And Holden pressing forward, but with some time, and they look to reset, but they don't reset for long. Back in the middle. Sarah Williams, nice play by Williams. She's in the game. That holding mid. Leone on the outside. And slow ball in. Bausch is going to clear it. And Hopkins still keeps it. Still on the outside. That's Recupero. Plays in Kolrani. Kolrani's there. Kutchman takes it off of her. They're fighting. Kolrani goes down. They're going to be a shot. So Hopkinton in dangerous territory with a free kick. They're going to get it direct. This could be more trouble. So in the 19th minute, Hopkinton with a free, just about 10 yards on the outside of the box. Shot. She puts it on goal. It's high and long. Holliston dodges a bullet there, so it'll be a goal kick for Holliston. Holliston down 3. Some more subs coming in. So it looks like Doniger's back in. Holden takes a break. And Caitlin Clark is in. Number 5. That's foul. It's going to be Holliston free. So you've had some experience in Hopkinton soccer. I
kind of spent a long time playing with the Hopkinton men's team. It was good fun.
Well,
It really is.
I mean, well, that's the thing is like, and here comes Hopton again on the outside.
Yeah.
Another foot race. That was Fotini Granzo. She was there and just goes out and is able to earn a kick. Well, this is back when way back when soccer was just becoming popular. But
Well, yeah, it was. It was there, but it wasn't like it is now.
no. Nice ball by Colrani. Granzos is unable to turn it. So, but as we saw, like back then, Hopkinton was one of those in our area. It was one of those towns that really started to put emphasis on soccer. And of course,
Yeah, they did.
When you played it, you weren't playing professional soccer at this point.
No, you kidding me?
But it was.
No, but it was good. It was. The leagues were really good. They were all full of the old, worn-out European and South American.
That's right.
Players.
Right. Having all those.
And it was very interesting because the different styles and that, and it was very good. It was very good. There was there was a lot of at that time. There's a lot of immigrants here, and the game was extremely competitive, but it was a lot of fun, and
I think
Hopkinton's had the high school team has had the benefit of some of the European players that played for a long time. For a while, I think so. Yeah,
absolutely. And here they go
some
again.
Some of the guys that I played with, I know one of them went on the team, but.
All right, so Hopkinton again down in Holliston zone, trying to add to their 3-0 lead. And it's one of those things where, the more we see it, and the more these kids are exposed to it, the more the more popular, the more emphasis and time and effort and money gets put into it. So this is your result. We see some really, really, really talented, especially at the girls' level, some talented players and talented teams over these years. And Hopkinton's always in it, and Holliston, of course, is always in it.
Yeah, there's the same names.
That's right. So,
and these girls, they played. It's like the foreigners. We played this game since we can walk, and they've done that. And you see the results of the women's soccer now. It's second to none.
That's right. That's right, especially for the U.S., right?
Absolutely.
U.S. women's soccer, a dominant force in women's soccer.
Absolutely, yeah. And they should be very proud of that because the interesting thing is now that the other foreign teams are becoming as strong as they are.
That's right.
They're getting their systems developed, but it was all started with these guys.
Yeah. It's great to see. It's all from you English guys coming over. That's really what you're getting at, right? Kind of a roundabout way. Of course.
In a roundabout way.
That's right. The color commentator today, Mr. John Marshall, of course, is, as I said, he's one of the founding fathers of Holliston soccer. He also happens to be my father-in-law. Today he's wearing his. This is going to be your new game jersey.
Yeah, right.
Something together in the middle. It's Queenie's. That's Mulvaney, and she's going to get a whistle. So Holliston trying to fight him, and not for nothing. Holliston they're hanging tough. They're trying to.
No, they haven't given up.
Nope, and they're starting to, and I see they're starting to win some balls. We'll just keep the pressure. Long ball in. Again, the turn, tries to get on the outside and just gets outside of her foot. It was Caitlin Quealy who was able to push that out. So Holliston trying to keep the pressure off their defenders. Leone on the outside. And I don't know. Oh, nice turn inside. She goes into traffic and she's able to hit. So that was Clark. She was there. Caitlin Clark. And back, Bausch is there, and there's trouble, but Lucas is there.
Oh, she's got.
So Bausch was, and Guatsanos was there, and she almost was able to connect a little bit too. Lucas was able to come and clean that up. Short kick out. Mulvaney. She looks in the middle. McDonald, we need to call her name more. We need to get McDonald's such a strong force up front, but she just can't seem to get anything going up front because the Hopkinson's defensive back, their back four.
Well, they can't get the ball out to her. They
yeah.
can't. They can't get the ball out to her. That's the trouble. She can be as good as she wants, and she's up here. She gets no service. It's no good. And they're having a tough time. The mid is really being sweated out in the middle of the field.
Bausch with the long kick out to the middle, trying to get it into the other end. There's a launch to the other side. So we'll see what happens here. This is what you were talking about, where try and get him to take.
Give him the ball up. Directly you let it go. Like
There's
that.
McDonald inside. There's a contact, and I think there's going to be a whistle. Kuchman, McDonald cross, and there's a whistle. Looks like it's going to be a foul. So it looks like we're going to see a Holliston penalty. So contact in the middle. Kuchman was there. I can't remember. I can't see who the Hopkinton who made the contact, but it's going to be a penalty. And it looks like it's going to be Hauk is going to take the penalty shot. All right, so Holliston penalty with a chance to get on the board here, the 27th minute. And it's going to be Hauk. Hauk on Chase, and she shoots and scores!
Very nice.
So Hauk with a gorgeous penalty. Yeah. So Holliston is on the board. So just
that was a superb penalty. She sent the goalkeeper the wrong way, and she had an empty net to push it into. That's very smartly done.
So Emma Hauk is able to score the penalty. So Holliston's on the board, and the score now is 3-1. Hopkinton in the lead. Hauk scored, and penalty was all driven by that. So there was the long ball forward, right? And it was and Doniger was able to get down there and control it. Got it out to McDonald, and McDonald was able to put a beautiful cross, and Kuchman was there, and she earned that penalty. I'll say that wasn't a cheap penalty.
Yeah,
she earned
she
that.
Did.
And Hauk was able to finish it up. So Holliston on the board, and maybe that'll breathe some life back into these guys. See if we can start putting more pressure on Hopkinton, and then see what happens. So just as we were talking about earlier. So one of our cameraman today, who I'm sorry I didn't mention, our cameraman Dan Chahida. He had a great point. He said this is the same thing that happened to the boys yesterday. That the boys team against Holliston went down early. And they were able to hold on. They weren't able to come out with a victory, but it didn't turn into a football game where guys were losing by touchdowns.
Yeah.
All right, Holliston free. It's going to be Mulvaney. Long shot in. He's trying to find Kaylee McDonald. McDonald gets hit. There's going to be another foul. So just outside the box. This is dangerous territory here.
Yeah, it is.
So McDonald earns a foul. So Holliston, if they get a little strong wind and a little, the right bounce, they could be right back in this. So Holliston down 3-1. This is a penalty shot. It's going to be Mulvaney's going to take it. So Mulvaney shot in, tries to put it up. It's high and just over the bar. So Mulvaney tried to loop that in just underneath the bar, and she almost got it there. But it was over the outstretched hands of Ayla Chase, and the danger was averted for Hopkinton. So Holliston back on the defensive. Chase is going to send it out. So as we're approaching the 29th minute here, Hopkins still leads 3-1. Holliston. There's Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald always pushing forward, always with a good nose for the ball and very quick feet. As we saw her make several tackles on some really, really talented Hopkinton players. There's Hauk on the outside. Nice turn. She gets it. Comes across and it's stuffed, but she earns the corner. So Zugantis came over to stuff, but Zugantis wasn't able to keep it, so Hauk's able to keep it on the line, so it's going to be a Holliston corner from the left side. Ball in, high ball. Tries to get there. Mulvaney got a head on it. And almost was able to get some zip on it, but it just got stuffed in a sea of players on the outside. That's going to be a Holliston. That's going to be a foul. Looks like it could be. Yeah, that's going to be a Holliston foul. So it's going to be a Hopkinton kick, free as we approach the 30th minute. So Hopkinton had things pretty much under control very early. Very early, it looked like they were kind of doing what they wanted to, pretty much on all aspects of the field. But Holliston, again, they don't know how to turn it off. So they're going to keep coming. And, players like Fitzgerald, Bausch, in the back, trying to always thinking, Leone on the outside, always thinking, trying to push that ball forward. Things can happen. Anything can happen. So Holliston, and as we saw, we talked about that earlier for Kayla McDonald. Kayla McDonald was able to get the ball, and and things happen. She was the one who was able to send that cross. So Cushman got the foul.
Yeah, I mean, they're good enough and they're skillful enough. They just need to get in. They need to get the ball in position.
As we got this on the outside, and she is fast. Bausch chasing her. She's able to ball. Bausch looks. And Bausch, nice place. It was stuffed a little bit, and there's Fitzgerald again.
That was a nice tackle.
Fitzgerald
picked up a little bit, yeah. They're staying a little bit calmer. Some of the passes are a little bit smoother.
And that could have been trouble. And two backs were able to handle it.
Oh, sure.
There's Doniger.
That's not good.
There's Clark.
Yeah.
Clark has been nothing but trouble for Holland. 2 goals. And here we go. So Doniger in the middle. She's got not a lot of help, and she's trying to get around.
Unfortunately.
And unfortunately, she's going to send that one out. So that's that kind of panic mode that you get into where you're trying to make something happen.
Like that there. I mean, it's not going to go. You're not going to pick that up. It's not in your favor, really. You've got to keep the ball on the ground. You've got to keep it there. You've got to pass it around. You find your teammate. You make sure you don't give the ball up easily. They're doing most of that. It's very difficult when you're down like this,
sure.
And the other team is such a competent team. It's very difficult, but it's possible.
So Holden sends the ball forward, trying to make something happen, looking for Doniger, but nothing doing. Goes a little bit too far and goes into the keeper Chase's hands. She sends it out and still out. Fitzgerald with the throw. 33rd minute, Holliston down 3-1. Got a couple more subs coming in. Looks like McDonald coming back in. And Sarah Williams. Hauk trying to find McDonald in the middle. McDonald can't control. There's Cushman. Doniger's there.
Nice.
And there's Hauk again. Hauk with some good ball control in the middle, trying to switch the field, and couldn't do it.
I mean, she had nobody there. That was the trouble. She couldn't find a player. She was looking for one.
Yep. So awesome. Trying to push forward. That's Leone up. And long ball forward, and she's on. It's going to be a foot race.
No, too far.
But Lucas is able there, and she's going to kick it and clear it.
Yep.
Once again.
Goalkeeper came out and picked that up.
I mean, at halftime, they're probably going to talk about that Gratzanos is
you can't do anything about that. The offside doesn't play there because it came out of their own half. So she could be on her way to goal.
Well, what you can do is give her a couple more steps.
Yep.
That's Granzos, Granzos, number 7. She is demonstrating her speed all afternoon.
Oh yeah.
Holliston trying to earn something in the middle. And there's Chase again. or correction, Clark again. 21 all over. I mean, Hollis is going to be in Coach Brielle Chadzy's nightmares tonight. Long ball in. She's able to control it. That's Gruntos again. Bausch fights. Back forward. Always looking for that pass. Always up front. They're looking for that extra touch, that just to that player that's either, and they're passing to space, right? They're not passing to passing to space, and you know the forwards are moving. No whistle. Right. Doniger's on the outside trying to buy McDonald. So McDonald's got some speed too. She's fighting for it, and she's unable to come away with it. It looked like that was.
But I like the way that the Holliston rear line is playing. They're not.
There it is. There's Grantos again. She pushes back. She's got number 9.
They're all back.
And that probably was
very nice.
That was probably one too many passes for Hopkinton.
Yes.
And Holliston did.
Choice.
Holliston a good job of marking in the back.
Holliston didn't allow them to. They're sort of. I noticed that in the last few minutes, the Holliston side is getting used to the way Hopkinton are playing. I think
that's great. Yeah.
And they're picking up some of those midfielders that were causing all the problem in the first place.
And unfortunately, what happens is if you don't see that early, you don't get that rhythm early.
Yes.
And here you are. Now you're chasing 2.
Yeah, exactly.
And really, but as you said, there hasn't been as much of that onslaught that we saw with the really clear shots.
Yeah.
Holliston's putting some pressure. Doniger playing forward. There's Hauk. So Hauk trying to keep that ball, and she gets it taken off her. That's a nice play. That's Grantos. I think that's the other Grantos. That's another nice play by her. Able to take that. And here's Hopkinton again controlling the ball. Grantos on the outside. There she is. She's raised with Bausch, and it looks like it's going to go. Looks like it's going to be a Hopkinton corner. So as we're approaching the 37th minute.
Again, that's an example there of the Hopkinton side. The pass was perfect. It was inside the fullback, and that's just where you want to be, so that the wingers can come around the fullback. The fullback doesn't know where the ball is.
She's there. Shot just over the crossbar.
Very good.
Beautiful corner right there, and I think it was number 5. Looked like Avery Michaud. Let me get that number correct. Yeah, that's who it was. Avery Misha was there and looked like she was going to get a clean shot, but was on. So Holliston comes away with no damage done. Williams pushes it up.
They seem to work that ball down that right wing very nicely like that.
And it's a traditional thing. Sarah Queenie playing on that right side as well.
Really?
There's Hauk. Hauk, nice tackle. Able to take it off, and she earns a throw. So as time winds down in the first half, Holliston chasing hard. Trying to get something here in the closing minutes of the first half. Doniger sends it forward. She's got Holden. Holden with a turn. Holden with a good shot on goal.
Very nice.
Able to get some purpose on it, but just into the hands of Chase, who was perfectly positioned to make that save. So again, Holliston fighting. They're fighting down there, trying to get an opportunity. And here they go again. Bausch chases. She's going to try and turn it, and almost gets in trouble. Shot up, and it's going to be too far over the crossbar. So Bausch got a little bit of trouble, tried to turn it back in, couldn't get a good connection on it, and that was Marin O'Connor. O'Connor was there and take a shot and send that well over the crossbar. But could have been another good Hopkinton look. Ball cleared over the head of Holden. Queenie's there. Another race. Grantos on the outside. Connor. Fitzgerald is able to stuff that. Nice play by Doniger on the outside. She gets it taken off her, and there it comes right back to her. It's that little sequence that's a handball. Of course, the officials were helped by pretty much everybody in the entire field. So everybody on the field, of course, you can see was waving to the officials. That was a handball. And of course, they make the right call, and it's going to be a Holliston free as time winds down here in the first half. Bausch sends the ball in. Williams is there. Hauk with a touch, trying to push it on the outside. One ball up and one touch back, and here comes Hopkinton. Always looking for that open player. And here they come. This is trouble. O'Connor sends it forward. Is that on the outside? Ball in O'Connor. O'Connor in space. She taps it back. There's Holden. Holden's there to brush up, and here they come. Got Queenie. Queenie turns. Queenie goes in. Here's a look again. They shot in. Long shot. Lucas is just able to get a hand on it. Francis pounded that ball. Oh, and that's going to end it. Yeah. Holliston's able to dodge another nice save. Very nice save by Kira Lucas. She's able to hold that off. So at the end of the first 40 minutes, Holliston in a little bit of trouble. I'll tell you what. You know what? Holliston's down 3-1. They're not out.
No, they've evened it up.
They're not out.
They've evened it up. It's an even game now. Where the first 15 minutes or so, it was not an even game, but it is now. It's back and forth and back and forth, and each one of them, the defenses are playing well and the midfields are playing well. It's the mistakes that get made because they're getting harassed by the opposition, and that happens. But each team is they're really fighting for this right now. It's very interesting to see what the outcome's going to be.
So it'll be interesting to see what adjustments Holliston makes at the half. And as you said, I think the more harassment, the more that they're harassing, the better off they're going to be.
Yeah.
Of course, this is why you get paid the big money, because not people on this side of the pond know about harassment. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So we're going to take a quick break and rejoin. Make sure you don't go get something to eat, but come back and you can rejoin us for the second half with Holliston trying to come back against Hopkinton, down by a score of 3-1. Thank you for watching Holliston Girls Varsity. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back, everybody, for the second half of Holliston, Hopkinton, and this London Derby. And this London Derby has been a somewhat of a one-sided one so far as Hopkinton took an early and strong lead. But Holliston, in the second half of the first half, if that makes any sense. Sorry about the wind, as the weather's starting to change a little bit. Holliston was able to come and make a bit more of a game of it. They earned a penalty kick, which was scored by Emma Hauk, who's able to put Holliston on the board. So trailing 3-1, Holliston's making this a game. So we'll see as they change sides and we just get underway in the second half. See if Holliston can put this together. Hopkinton, very skilled, very poised, but Holliston, they're not ready to stop yet. During halftime, we were able to we got some information. We always have a good softball reference for the Old Man Holliston Softball League, which my wife says we don't need to talk about, but it comes up. Holliston softball attendee, I guess we'll call him that. Jason Smith is here, but we found out that Jason Smith is the uncle of the Gronso sisters, who have been giving Holliston trouble this whole game. Speaking of which, that was Juliana Gronsos, number 17, who just sent that ball forward. So shout out this one. We're going to have a couple other softball shout outs are going to happen throughout the rest of this half. This Holliston is looks like they're trying to get some patience, and I like that. I like to see them patient and trying to get that ball for us. Holden. Mulvaney looks in. Hauk's there, trying to find. Here comes Hopkinton. Side. And a nice play. That was Caitlin Queeley's playing that left back. She was able to stop it. And was that? And Leone. Leone's over there. So Leone playing the left back. Looks like Fitzgerald's playing the right back. Bausch and Queeley are playing in the center. So Hopkins trying to use that speed. They turn it over. There's Kutchman. Kutchman to Mulvaney. She pushes forward. Mulvaney gets, Leone sends it forward, trying to find somebody. Can't do it. Holden's there. Kutchman's there. Bausch is there. There's the turn. Nice step in. Julia Leone, nice step and able to clear it. Bausch gets it up and she finds McDonald. Fitzgerald pushed it outside. Holliston looked like. So once again, Holliston, a nice little combination with McDonald and Doniger on the outside. There's contact. The ball gets pushed out, so it's going to be Doniger earns the free. Mulvaney to take it. So what do you think the Holliston talked about in the during the half? What do you think some of the adjustments, Coach Chadsey?
I don't know. That's a good question. I know what some of the conversations I would have would be one of, they're actually getting back in the game now. They've got to keep control of themselves. No blasting the ball around, passing it from one time, trying to find their own teammate to give it to, and it's very simple. But it's
there's that through ball again, and Kira Lucas is going to get there. Sorry,
I think they're beginning to do that now. They're getting a little bit more confident in themselves, and they're not getting harassed into making sort of some stupid passes, which is what it's all about. I mean, they got the skills, they got the intelligence, they know how the game is played. But up until midway into the first half, the Hopkinton were completely in charge. But they've sort of broken that down a little bit now.
Yeah, Hopkins still trying to play their game, still trying to find.
They're doing exactly the same thing.
Here they go.
They're calmly playing the game and not getting sort of harassed as they play. And the defenses have got to keep themselves in control too. They got to keep their position.
Clark with a shot.
They can't leave players standing there, and they're not doing that now.
So Clark laid that ball off to Recupero. She shot it high. And Holliston is able to get out of that as a substitution comes in. Looks like that's Mulvaney taking a break, and looks like that's Williams coming in. So on that note, we're going to do a couple more shout-outs. So just played in fall ball. Sarah Williams' dad, Greg, is I will say he's a better player probably than Jason Smith. I would definitely give him that. Although I know he's got a bad shoulder, so he's got some problems with his shoulder, but definitely shows a lot more skill than Jason Smith. Jason holds his own. I'll give him that. And again, he plays the team that he plays for, South. I don't want to get into too much detail, but he knows what I'm talking about. So that's when they always say, don't say inside jokes when you're on the radio or TV. No one gets them except you. So shout out to my man Greg Williams. Played a great game, and he's an outstanding softball player. And then, and I can't believe I forgot this. My brother in arms, Mr. Brad Lucas, who is the father of Kira Lucas. Brad Lucas, a graduate of the United States Air Force Academy. He is also a softball stalwart and a great American freedom fighter. So shout out to those guys. Oh, and there is one more softball player we're going to talk about. We'll talk about him later. All right, so the game goes back to soccer. Holliston again. Looks like that midfield is. They're there, right? They're
yes, they are.
And
they're in the right position and blown away.
And you know what it is? It's like that. Like you said early on, they were a shot by Doniger. It was a long one, but still a shot. They get in that. They were probably taken a little off guard by the precision of Hopkinton early on and the pace, right? And they just probably weren't ready for that.
They weren't ready for that. No.
And coming back, they realize I have to be a half a step quicker. I have to hold the ball a half a second, beat less, because these guys are that good. And I think the fans. Kolrani looks in, trying to find, couldn't do it. Looks like that's O'Connor on the outside. I get that number. Their own end, trying to stop this hop. Ball comes through and they clear it out. Fitzgerald's there. Push back in. Here comes McDonald to Holden. Holden with some space on the Hauk on the right side. McDonald in the middle. Hopkins does a nice job of getting numbers back, and that's what I do like about that. They don't clear it out of bounds. She turns it and she's like, let's go right back to work. And now they are. O'Connor on the outside, and the flag goes up, and it didn't go up by much. Didn't go up that. It didn't have a lot of time to go up because that was close. Here comes Holliston right back. Doniger. Doniger gets it taken off of her.
Back on the other side of the field to see that she only had to move up about 4 or 5 paces, and she put the receiver on this left side. She put her offside. I mean, they were 20 yards apart.
Yeah. But, and that's it, right?
And that was very slick.
How nice ball in, and who's there? Nobody's there. Looking for Holden and McDonald were there. How with a nice turn and a great cross, a little high, and no one was able to connect with it on the other end. Sorry.
No, that's the teams are much more organized right now.
Yeah, both, and Holliston, like they're controlled.
They're playing mid better.
I think the marks are better.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So trying to push it on the right side, and Clark watches it run out. Holliston substitution. Looks like it's might be Mulvaney coming back in, I think. Battle on the right side. There's a whistle. Hit somebody's hand?
I don't know. I think it might have been a high kick or something. Yeah, I think she got kicked in the face, I think.
Yeah, we might have an injury. Yeah. Okay. That's Mulvaney who got hit. It's hard to see from here, but I think that's her. Let's hope she's okay. So it's starting to feel a little more like fall right now as the kind of the nibbles of that hurricane looks like it's coming on it's going to be hitting the coast. My mom was up there. A nice intercept.
Nice. Keep going.
It's a pick, and it's Doniger again. Good step. She's there, but it's a little too much on it. Williams. So Williams a little bit of an ancillary push, kind of like her dad would do. He pushed me in the game this past weekend. Ball across. Lucas.
Good work.
So came in. Lucas came out just in time. Was able to stuff it, and looks like it's going to be a Hopkinton corner. So Hopkinton corner on the right. It's hard to say. Hopkinton corner on the right side. You have to practice that one. So here's the corner. Can't see who's taking it right now. But Hopkinton's been trouble on the corner. And there it is. Bob Joe, they go short. Short, and there's Hauk. Hauk's able to stop it. McDonald chasing. Holden's there. Long ball forward and a little too far. That was Kutchman who sent it forward.
I noticed that Holliston is moving up and down the field much more as an organised group now, instead of forwards racing away and leaving the defence behind. It's much more of a smooth transition to play right now.
Bausch on Clark. Clark gets the turn. Clark with a shot gets stuffed.
It's a corner.
It's going to be another corner, and that was, once again, Fitzgerald's there to break that up. Allison Fitz all day. Super, super strong player. Able to control ball, turn off the Holliston defender, come in, get a good look, and almost able to get a shot, but Fitzgerald put an end to that. Ball in. It's stopped. Leone's there. She chases. There's, once again, ball across. Lucas is up. Ball gets on the head. Lucas went up to get it and missed it. Went to a Hopkinton player. I think it might have been, I can't see from here. I think it might have been Emily Scaff, number 15, but she got a head on, but just wasn't able to put it on target. So Hopkinton, once again, looks like they're knocking on the door. And it looks like Fitzgerald doesn't. Fitzgerald, who's not very tall, definitely not as tall as that Hopkinton player. She kind of vanished back there. Was able to hold her off and allow that.
Well, she was holding a giant off.
So Fitzgerald she's having a game today. She is really playing well against some very, very talented Hopkinton forwards. Bausch sends it out. Looking for Doniger. She's there. Gets it to her feet. Nice play. Doniger with a nice turn. Doniger. Ainsley Doniger she's a transfer student from Grafton. So she played at Grafton High last year as a sophomore, this year junior, transferred to Holliston. A great pickup for Holliston. A couple more of these I'll tell you what, that's one of those. That's when Coach Chadsey gets a Christmas present when you get something like that. Ball comes off. Kutchman goes down, but here comes Hopkinton again. Ball forward, shot, and it's wide. Great save! Great save!
Lovely save. Well saved. Yep.
A diving save by Kira Lucas, one-handed. Right, gets her right hand to the ball, is able to push it, and Bausch is there to clear it. I'll tell you what, they had a great look. I think it was Recupero, who had a nice turn, a nice look, clean shot, and she put the ball right where it needed to be.
Right where it needed to go.
And
she did.
And Lucas got there. So, Holliston, great play by Kira Lucas, the sophomore. Holliston free. Here we come back. So we're in the 55th minute here. Holliston is doing a.
Yes. Go.
Recupero pushed on the outside.
No, she seems to have a. She seems
Doniger's
to have a measure right now.
Yep. Ball comes up. There's Fitzgerald. She pops it. Doesn't get a clean look. Clark again. And they reset. Granzos. She pushes on the outside. Looks like that's Krantz on the outside. And then Bausch clears it forward. Trying to find Grandforce as the freshman.
Again.
Grandforce on the outside. I think that's her. Eleanor Grandforce, the freshman, is playing up on the outside, and she's able to push it forward. So Holliston gains some ground.
That's a corner.
They got themselves a corner. Hauk to take the corner. So in 56-minute, Hauk. Long ball in. Grandforce there. She gets a head on it. And a little too much. It's going to go over the end line. So today's game is brought to you, of course, by none other than the Holliston Hub HCAT. So, Holliston Hub HCAT is beginning our sponsorship program. So anybody, and businesses, nonprofits, if you'd like to sponsor one of the sporting events, one of the local Holliston Hub covers, like could be football, could be boys soccer, it could be girls soccer, anything, lacrosse. If you want to sponsor a game, then contact the Holliston Hub, Holliston Hub HCAT. Give us a call because the sponsorships are a vital, important part of the sustainability. And there's trouble in the middle. There's a turn. Great play. Emma Williams is there to stop that. She almost got a look. Grandforce there. She goes down but pops back up. Gets to it. Doniger tries to get a piece, and Hopkinton pushing again. It's hard to do my sponsorship when Hopkinton's banging on the door. Hopkinton resets. As I said, if you'd like to sponsor, Clark in the middle. Contact Bruce Guilfoy. Turn in, there's trouble. Lucas comes out, and he's just able to get there just before Recupero.
This Holliston defense is really playing. He's really playing.
Well, they're getting tested.
Up to stuff now.
They sure are.
They might be getting tested, but they're coming through.
Helped by a great save by your keeper. It's keeping you in this game.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's a foul. Looks like it was Queenie that got hit. I think so. Sarah Queenie thinks that's Sarah Queenie on the outside. She gets hit. So Holliston is back in. So if you're interested in sponsor, contact the station. And as I was saying, the sponsorship for these games and donations to the Holliston Hub HCAT. Holliston Hub it allows us to continue to provide the local programming and keep everybody's fingers on the pulse of everything that's happening here in the great town of Holliston. So we appreciate all of your support. Please consider supporting the Holliston Hub so we can continue to bring you all of these wonderful in our town. So Holliston looks like they're going to get a free kick on the outside. So a free kick walks and talks like a corner, but not quite in the corner. It's going to be Hauk. She sends it forward in front of the goal. It's there. Hopkins then gets a head on it. It's another Sends it forward. And it looks like Chase is able to get a handle on it. Ayla Chase, the keeper, and she keeps controlling it. Here comes Hopkins does not when they see an opportunity, they'll go forward. Nice play. Oh, and there's a foul. Looks like there was contact. Fitzgerald made contact, but it looked like Mulvaney was going to come away. It was going to be a Hopkinton free kick.
Holliston is challenging everything in the middle of the field. This game is being won and lost in the middle of the field, and they're doing a pretty good job right now. Better than I've seen them in a long, long time.
That's good. That's good. So at the minute, ball comes in, and they're there. Oh, wow. That was trouble.
They snuck away from that.
Yeah, so the ball came in. Had two Hopkinton players on that other side. It looked like it might have been Gransos. It might have been a guy called Ronnie. Who got a foot on it, but they were there, and they had a clean shot, put it wide of the post. So Holliston, once again, dodged, but that's all part of the game. So in the 61st minute, Holliston still down 2. Trying to put something together, but Hopkins says, and here it is.
You got it.
This Grandforce, a freshman. Grandforce steps, and that's Gransos. That's Julia Gransos, the senior. Says, welcome to high school soccer. And Gransos takes the ball off Grandforce. But that was a great play by the freshman Eleanor Grandforce pushing forward.
Superb.
And Mulvaney comes back, and she's going to get the whistle coming in from the back for that tackle. I don't think she got a lot of the ball on that one. So at about the 35-yard line, Hopkins going to get a free kick, probably a little too far for direct, and they push it short. Cleared out by Holliston. So Holliston trying to pressure high. Hopkins does a job of resetting, playing back, changing the field if they need to, and then trying to find people. Nice play by that's Doniger. Nice play. Doniger gets a whistle for that, and it looks like Doniger was the one who had most of the ball, but
I don't think that was. I don't think.
So Doniger, she came in hard, and she's a strong player, so she's not afraid to make contact. But looks like she got. Let's try there, and she goes out. Push it wide. Here's Hopkinton again.
This is from one end of the field. This is probably one of the best games I've seen here. Most interesting games, put it that way.
Yeah, so Madison Recupera, number 10 for Hopkinton. She's been a menace this half. Very fast and doing a lot of the kind of sending those through balls. It's trouble. Pushed out. Bausch is there, but it looks like it's going to be a Hopkinton. No, it's going to be a Holliston goal kick.
Yeah, the Holliston fullback was all over her. She was right on top of it. She couldn't get a shot away.
So
that's excellent.
Annika Kulkarni was there. She almost had a clean shot, but Lila Bausch was able. The backs have had their work cut out for them the entire game. Fortunately for those three early goals.
I don't think they were expecting it.
So here we go. So O'Connor on the outside. She looks. And taken off. Mulvaney.
Come on.
So they send it forward. And this is where, against some teams, then Hopkinton gives it right back. The keeper, Chase, just hands it right back, so it's going to be a Holliston throw. Some substitutions come in. Grandforce comes out. Holden comes out. Clark comes in. Kuchman's in. Sarah Queenie's in on the outside. Mulvaney. Kuchman. Bausch.
Nice.
Bausch sends it forward. Might be through. A little too strong. Chase is there. And here comes Hopkinton. Brontos pushes it to the outside. There's Recupero.
Nice.
Recupero on the outside.
She's got picked up.
That was Tedstone. Cole Tedstone who came on the outside. Was pushed forward. So Hopkinton with a couple new players on the field right
Handball.
now. And looks like we got a handball.
Yeah, there's a handball, definitely.
That call was made. Up by Kaylee McDonald. And Bausch with the free. Bausch launches it forward. Trying to find Kutchman. She's not there.
Oh, that's a
Williams is there, and then that's a big whistle. So it's 65. Holliston still trails 2. Trying to get something going. There's snippets of things happening that could potentially lead to something good. Long ball in by Mulvaney, and there it is. Chase is able to gobble it up. She was looking for Queenie on the outside. Holliston's got some size up front. Mulvaney there, nice step in, but again, these Hopkins players do such a good job of kind of using their bodies, controlling the ball, keeping possession. I mean, I haven't seen a team possess the ball. That ball's forward. It's a race. Lucas is there. Just gets her left foot on it. That was Recupero and Lucas. Again, Recupero all over the field today. And Lucas, another fantastic play. It just goes to show you how that a good keeper will keep you in the game.
That was not good.
As we said, this is a we try as you know, as media people, we try and be as unbiased as we can. Unfortunately, on behalf of my, I have to apologize to my father-in-law, who is he can't help it. He is an eternal lover of the game, and of course he loves competition, but he is always going to kind of root for his team. So today his team is playing in the red. So you may hear just some random coaching comments that come up. Bausch, nice play, just able to get a foot on it. Here comes Holliston. Turn back, Williams.
Nice.
Correction, that's Clark. It's Caitlin Clark who's playing up front now. Ball
I
forward. Kutchman's there.
Got it.
So Kutchman there says Clark. Clark gets a foot. Clark looks. And unable. Didn't traffic. There's Hauk. Hauk with a shot.
Oh,
and it catches
deflected,
Kutchman on the side of the face.
That was good.
So Kutchman looks like
Kutchman
Kutchman turned into that, and Hauk got she got some good pace on that ball. Kutchman's okay.
You have to say that the defensive play of both sides is superb, and the attacking play is excellent too. But it's really evenly matched at this particular time. They are two evenly matched teams.
Yeah, and you know, regardless if the score holds,
I don't care what the score says.
If the score holds, you know, Coach Chadsey is going to have a lot of positive things come out of this, especially going down early as they did. So Kutchman goes out, takes a break. Looks like she's going to be okay. Looks like Holden comes in, Hannah Holden. And Chase with the clear. Holden looks like she might have touched it, but no whistle. Cole Carney plays out. Leone sends it forward. Queenie on the outside. Back to Leone. Leone. Long ball forward. Looking for Clark. Clark's there. That's Gronsos. Gronsos has the bag number 17. Juliana Gronsos. There's two Gronsos sisters. Juliana, who is playing center back, has had a fantastic game. When you talk about that, you know, the defense playing well, she is the center of that Hopkinton defense back there.
She's stalwart.
And very poised, very calm, and we've been calling her name a lot. As she's able to get to balls and clear them, but not clear them, you know, just clear them out of bounds. Like clear them and finding a Hopkinton player, whether it be a midfielder or forward, moving up. So and here's the other one. She lays the ball off. Clark lays the ball off and cleared by Bausch, but Hopkins is not giving up. Georgie Clark once again. She's a senior this year. I'm talking to Coach Tom Skiba before the game. He said that there are 5 Hopkinton players that are committed to be playing in college next year. So that's some real talent that you don't often see. 5 players that are going to be going on and play at the next level after this. So that's a hats off to that organization. And just as Holliston has had a bunch of really, really good players. It's just that whole soccer program that starts at the youth level. I can always remember when we were Coach Hopkins. They were always a tough, one of the toughest ones on the list. Yeah, always, no matter where it was. Whenever we played a Hopkinton game, they were always good. It's not unlike Chelsea and Arsenal. It's the same kind of. It's that same kind of
rivalry.
Yeah. All right, some midfield players were winding down. We're in the 70th minute. Holliston still trailing by 2. But as Dan said earlier, just like was playing out in the boys' game, the boys they were down early and all first half, and then in the second half they were able to get themselves organized. They weren't able to pull it out, but they made it more of a game. And here's Holliston right there. Nice touch, Doniger had a nice touch and a great play. Once again, Gonzagos was able to do it. And here comes Hopkinton on the counter. They are not afraid to counter. Clark, nice ball, and there she is, Recupero by herself. Recupero on the outside makes a move.
She's not.
Bausch was able to adjust. She
missed her opportunity.
She had her chance.
She missed her opportunity.
She had a lot of space on the left side and tried to push it back to the middle. And Bausch allowing Lila Bausch the opportunity to get there. There's Doniger running. Chase is going to come out. She's going to clear it. And Houck's there. She can't get under control and it goes out of bounds. It's going to be a Hopkinton throw down the Holliston end. It's 71. McDonald tries to get up. Fitzgerald's there. There's a ball forward. Nice clear. That was Caitlin Quealy who's able to clear it out. Hopkinton really trying to pressure forward. Madison Recupero, number 10. She has been all over the Holliston defense today. Still unable to. There she is. She gives it up, and Houck's there. Holden's there. Holden sent it forward, and there's nobody there. She's got Granfers on the outside. Once again, Hopkinton plays back. Holliston trying to pressure, see if they can make something happen. Doniger, Granfers, Houck up front. Holden. But Hopkinton finding space. She looks in. And here's Clark. Clark forward. Finds Recupero. Recupero can't hold it. It's cleared by McDonald.
She's offside.
Doniger's there. Looks like she might have been offside. It's not going to matter.
She was offside.
She was offside. And the referee was about to call it, but he saw that it wouldn't matter. So Houck's there. There's Williams pursuing. Leone on the outside. A lot of speed. Ball forward, and I think she just put it wide.
Yep.
Leone did a good job of getting position, not sending that ball across the end line, so it's not going to be a corner. We have no idea what the corner score is, do we? No. We haven't checked any corners.
No.
Yeah. I mean, when we start getting our, corners have been brought to you by, one of the sponsorships we could use is that maybe that Mr. Universe that you and I saw when we were this summer when we were on vacation. So, for those of you who you can't see, but my father-in-law is wearing his Mr. Universe muscle shirt. Hopkinton knocking on the door again, trying to. It looks like it was Clark. Clark's on the ground. She comes up with it on the outside. Nice play. That was McDonald. She turns it, but sends it right back in. He's wearing his torn hoodie. My father-in-law is in particularly good shape. Particularly good, for shot in. And there was contact. Bausch gets a foot on, doesn't get to goal. And here comes Kutchman on the outside. Pressure by Grand Force. Mulvaney tries to step in, comes up empty. Kulkarni's there. Kulkarni's been all over the field as well, too. She's playing a tremendous game. There's Recupero. Tries to get back to her. Recupero keeps on the outside. Look for Ted Stone. That's McCann. Watch out, that's hung up right there. That's okay. All right, looks like we have some trouble. We got a Holliston penalty just outside the box, and this could be trouble. Looks like it's going to be Zugantis is going to take this. Nina Zugantis is going to take this. Zugantis, strong, hits the post. Zugantis hammered that ball, hits the right post, and Holliston, there you go, and a two-hopper to Lucas.
That was a shame.
That was a great shot.
That was a beautifully taken free kick. Flighted perfectly, but unfortunately, right on the post.
Plenty of pace and hits the post, so Holliston dodges the ball.
We weren't going to save that one. That's for sure.
Lucas wasn't there, and Gantz really, that's a really, really good free kick. I mean, this Hopkinton team is stacked. They have all kinds of talent. Kids can really, really hit the ball. There's Clark. She sends the ball up. Can't do it. Fitzgerald marks her. Fitzgerald staying tough with her. That's it. Here they come. Tries to put the ball through. Lucas is there, and she gets there, and doesn't. It just goes past her and hits the right post. So Lucas unable to get a hold of it.
The goalkeeper deflected that. You've got to give credit to the goalkeeper. She came out, and she went down at her feet, and she deflected it enough.
Gets just a piece of it.
Excellent goalkeeping there.
And that looked like, for Hopkins, it looked like Fortini Granzos was unable to just get under control and pushed it forward, and it just caught the post. So we're inside of 5 minutes as Holliston trying to hold off another Hopkinton onslaught. And again, a great play by Kira Lucas, as you said, just to get enough of it to be able to thwart that, and then she gets some help from her backs. Grand Force is there. Throw in by McDonald. Holliston knows they're running out of time. Pressing. McDonald with the throw. Speaking of McDonald, as we said, we're talking about softball. Kaylee McDonald's dad, Jay McDonald, again, we'll say he is a participant. He does go to the games and play softball. We'll give him that. All right, here's trouble on the outside. Headstone.
No, it's not. She's going to take it away from her. It's very good.
Bausch is there, and she's able to stuff it, give Holliston a chance to reset. But
she really did. I mean, she did. She cut that off. She cut that right off. There was no way that the winger was going to get round her.
Here's Hopkinton again, and is that going to go off McDonald? And it does. So it's going to be another Hopkinton corner.
If I was the coach, I'd be very pleased with the way the back line of defense has played in this, particularly the second half.
Another short corner for Hopkinton. They look in. There's a look across. Cleared. Fitzgerald. Not a bad look. Not a bad cross. And again, that short corner.
There you go.
Hopkinton scored on that first corner.
I've been preaching that for years.
You have. You preach it every game. So that's trouble. She gets through and scores.
Hard luck.
Sooner or later, Recupero has been all over the field. So Cooper's able to get past, get a shot on goal, and sustains it and able to put it through. And Hopkins back on the board again.
She's been the dominant forward in the game. Every time she picks the ball up, it's trouble.
So speed, great ball control.
Control, powerful shot, everything. She's got everything.
And Recupero scores. And Hopkinton leads by a score of 4-1 as we're coming down to the last minutes of the game. They were pushing.
Oh yeah, they really were.
Here they come again. Ted Stone on the outside. Fitzgerald's there. So as you said, it's somewhat of an awkward score. It's a little bit of a crooked score. Here's Ted Stone on the outside again. Fitzgerald.
She's not going to get around her.
Claire Pacheco does a nice job keeping the ball and takes up.
Oh, not too good.
Tries too much. Yeah. She's there.
Nonetheless, I think that Holliston defense has done extremely well. Extremely well.
So, time winding down. It's Queely, she sends it forward. Once again, nothing on the other side. Queenie on the outside trying to. There's Leone. Leone tries to control, and she does. Good job. Queenie's there. She keeps it. So Holliston definitely has some work to do, like particularly with this, allowing these players to come in and be able to get the ball without, in space and have room to work as opposed to having that mark stay with them. So that's one of the things that Holliston, they definitely can work on, is be able to kind of mark better, particularly those players that the runners that are coming in. And a lot of good things. There's some, and that'll be it. All right.
Well, there's a lot of good things. I think Holliston should be quite pleasing themselves today. I think they let some easy goals in the first place in the first half, but they fought really well and came back really strongly in the second half. The coach should be very, very happy with their performance.
So at the end of regulation, Holliston loses to Hopkinton by a score of 4-1, a very talented Hopkinton team. So on behalf of the Holliston Hub and the crew, Dan Shaneda, and of course Tom Harmon, John Marshall, I'm John Drohan. We'll see everybody next time on Holliston Girls Varsity Soccer here at Kamitian Field. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for supporting the Holliston Hub.